Are we ready to begin?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Good morning. Please state your name.
Victoria Otto. I'm sorry, you're talking to Mr. Bracamonte. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Javier Raimundo Bracamonte.
Good morning, Mr. Bracamonte. This is the time for your initial appearance. You are here on a warrant that was issued after a summons in a failure to appear on charges of endangerment, aggravated assault, aggravated robbery, armed robbery with a deadly weapon, weapons misconduct, and discharging a firearm in city limits. You have the right to remain silent on all of these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. We are going to discuss your conditions of release this morning. To prepare for that, I have reviewed the warrant. I have also reviewed information provided about you by pretrial services, including any criminal history and information about your ties to the community and their assessments and recommendations. I've also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on the same bond amount for which a warrant was issued of $10,000. Would the state like to be heard further regarding its recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. This was originally a $100,000 bond. The case was later dismissed and refiled. Given the gravity of the accusations, the state believes $100,000 is adequate, all things considered. It's actually a touch low, but the state will go with the $10,000 that the court recommended for the bond.
And does the state have a recommendation regarding the factors for juvenile detention?
Your Honor, if the court wants to go through them point by point, we can. Otherwise, it is the state's opinion that this person is, all the factors lean towards confinement in the Pima County Jail and not the juvenile facility.
Thank you. And defense.
So, Judge, Mr. Bracamonte had the $100,000 warrant based on the county attorney's discretion with no judicial intervention. But then when they dismissed and refiled, they followed the presumption set forth in the rules and issued a summons for him. The reason he didn't respond to that summons was because he was in Sycamore Canyon and so was unaware of the arraignment. He has completed his portion of time in Sycamore Canyon. He's on an ankle monitor. He's back on juvenile probation. And so he would have absolutely appeared for court had he been aware that there was a court date. Understanding that juvenile probation intends to place a detainer, we don't object to the imposition of a lower bond, but I'd ask that you impose nothing more than $2,500. If and when the juvenile probation matter is handled, he can stay with his grandmother or his older sister. He is a full-time student at Career Success. And in terms of the Rule 7.7 factors, it is certainly not in his best interests to be held with adult offenders in the Pima County Jail. He is only 16. There is absolutely no sign of extraordinary physical or emotional maturity here. He will certainly also have better educational opportunities in the juvenile detention facility. And there is no evidence that he poses a danger to other juveniles in custody. So under the circumstances, I'd ask that you impose a minimal bond and that you order him held in juvenile detention.
And it looks like the original bond was ordered at an initial appearance. I'm not quite sure I understood your argument about that being only at the county attorney's discretion.
Sorry, Judge, I thought that was the result of a direct indictment. I withdraw that comment, but I think that everything else still applies.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to double check. All right, I will order that at this time the defendant is held on a bond of $10,000 as issued by Judge Knatzer. That'll be cash or secured. If you are released, you'll be released to pretrial services. Monitoring or treatment is directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and surrender any firearms that are in your possession. No contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. And then I have considered the juvenile detention factors under ARS 8-305D, and at this time, I will order that the defendant be held at the juvenile detention center. Your next court date will be for a criminal arraignment. That's on August 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you were to be released and then fail to appear for that court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand, Mr. Bracamonte?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That's all for today.
Your Honor, while we're waiting, this is the court interpreter standing by for Mr. Martin, who may be fifth onto this morning's list.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning. Please state your name. Oh,
And muted, Judge, sorry.
Estrella Monique Loreto.
Ms. Loreto, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here on misdemeanor charges this morning of unlawful disturbance from a electronic communication. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing Brent Cicero to represent you, and his phone number will be on the paperwork you receive after court today. It's my understanding that you are also being held on other felony matters. And so regardless of what I ordered today, you would not be released until those matters were cleared up. So we are going to discuss your conditions of release today. I am going to order that you are held on a bond of $100, cash or secured. And if you are released, the additional orders are no alcohol or illegal drugs and no contact with the alleged victim. And then your next court date will be Thursday, July 31st at 8:30 in the morning at Green Valley Justice Court. If you are still in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing. And if you have been released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all for today.
That one better. I'll see the judge.
Right.
Thank you. It's a misdemeanor though, right? Oh, thank you.
She's got $100. $100 not.
Hello.
morning. Please state your name.
Francisco Abraham Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, this is the time for your initial appearance on a couple of different matters. Let me get this pulled up here. You have a warrant based on charges of disorderly conduct and criminal damage from April of this year out of Pima County Justice Court. And then you also have some charges out of Tucson City Court, which include criminal trespass, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, obstructing the highway, and solicitation. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I will appoint Brent Cicero in your Pima County Justice Court matter and the City of Tucson Public Defender's Office in your City of Tucson matters. We are going to discuss your conditions of release, and I am going to order that you're held on a bond of $100 cash or secured in the Pima County Justice Court matter. Your next court date will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Judge Pesquiera at Pima County Justice Court. If you are released, the additional orders are no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim of the disorderly conduct, and do not return to the incident location. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for that hearing tomorrow. And if you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. And then on the Tucson City Court matters, I am going to order a bond of $150 cash or secured, no alcohol or illegal substances, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location except for the disorderly conduct and criminal trespass charges. And your next court date to remain in custody will be August 5th at 1:45 for a video review. And if you post bond and are released, they will vacate that date, and instead your court date will be September 3rd at 9 a.m. for an arraignment at Tucson City Court. I will enter pleas of not guilty for you on the new charges and let you know that if you fail to appear for any of your future court dates in Tucson City Court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward without you, including trial, convicted, and then fail to appear for sentencing for 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand, Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all for today.
Am I able to ask anything?
Yes, you can ask a question.
I don't understand why this is happening because when I went to court on Friday to schedule an arraignment to squash these warrants. Why is this even happening? I don't understand.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Martinez, because it does seem like what happened was you were arrested on the warrant before the court hearing to quash the warrant.
I was arrested before that, but I still went to courts to quash the.
So it sounds like you got a hearing date set, but the warrant was not actually quashed. That the court was going to consider whether to quash the warrant at that hearing date. So that's the reason it's happening.
So,
I'm not. Yes. All right.
Thank you, Noah.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Lexi Pro Smith.
Let's see.
All right, good morning, Ms. Smith. You are here for a review hearing this morning. It looks like you are being held here on a local matter, and then I am today reviewing the warrant out of Graham County.
Okay.
It looks like you are still being held on something else here locally. Is that correct?
Yes. I have a 60-day sentence.
Okay. All right. Do you know when that's going to end?
Sometime in September. My last court date was on the 21st, and that's when I was sentenced.
Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and set a hearing for about the end of August to see if you are still here or if you have been released to Graham County by then. And
Okay.
by August 27th, if you are still here, the jail will make you available for that hearing. And if you have been released, you won't have to worry about that hearing. All right?
Can I ask what the charge from Graham County is?
Failure to appear.
That's what it is? That failure to appear? Okay. Oh, never mind.
And it looks like it was an originally possession of dangerous drugs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you. That's
Thank
all
you.
for today.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Just because of the jail, just to let you know that Alexis Martin is refusing and David Straub is in downtown court.
Okay. So we'll continue Mr. Martin's hearing till this evening, and the interpreter is excused with thanks.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. You're welcome.
And then,
It's just a review hearing, Your Honor. We're going to continue to tonight.
oh, I guess I don't need to do that. Good point. So I'll just set the review hearings for those. So Mr. Straub's hearing will be on August 27th at 9 a.m. And then Mr. Martin will have the same hearing date. Is all right, good morning. Please state your name.
Joseph Ward Jackson.
Great. Good morning, Mr. Jackson. You are here this morning on a couple of different matters. There was a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a charge of facilitation from January of 2024. And then a warrant also out of Pima County Justice Court for a criminal trespass charge from July of 2024. You have the right to remain silent on both of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I am appointing Brent Cicero to represent you. On the first matter, the facilitation charge, well, on both matters, we are going to discuss your conditions of release. And on the first matter, I am going to order a bond of $250, cash or secured, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And you will have a court date on Thursday at 11:30 for a review hearing at Pima County Justice Court.
Was that for the facilitation?
Yes.
That case has already been concluded. I've already put, I'm placed on probation for it. Unsupervised probation for that charge.
Oh, you know what? It does say on the warrant that you are accused of, well, no, actually, it does not say that it's post-adjudication. It says that it's pre-adjudication. And then, there seems to be some misunderstanding there regarding that, that I'm sure you'll be able to get cleared up with your attorney. And then on the criminal trespass charge, I'm going to order a bond of $100 cash or secured. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not go to the incident location. Brent Cicero will also be appointed to represent you in that matter. And you'll have court for that tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Judge Pesquiera at Pima County Justice Court. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available for those hearings. If you are able to post bond and be released, it'll be your responsibility to appear. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir?
No,
Which part?
on the facilitation charge, I don't understand how I'm got a warrant for a charge that I've already been sentenced on.
So you're going to be seen on the other case tomorrow, and you'll be able to ask your attorney to check into that. All I have in front of me this morning is the warrant itself, and it did issue. It issued on let's see, January 31st of 2025. All right, thank you. That's all for today.
It was 250 on the facilitation and 100 on the other.
I see that.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Evangelina Martinez.
Thank you. Ms. Martinez, you have a couple of different matters up this morning. You have new charges of assault and 3 counts of disorderly conduct, which are all domestic violence offenses. And then you also have a Tucson City Court case. From 2023. With outstanding restitution. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented. No, I'm sorry. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to talk about your conditions of release this morning. And I am reviewing the probable cause statements for the new charges. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services about you. That would let me know whether you have any relevant criminal history and information about your ties to the community from the victim. So on the new charges, I am going to order, well, actually, first let me ask you, if I do order that you are released on your promise to appear, will you appear at your future court dates?
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to order that you are released on your promise to appear in that matter. The additional conditions are no alcohol or illegal drugs and no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date will be August 7th at 10:30 in the morning. And if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then on the Tucson City Court matter, I am also going to order that you are released on your promise to appear for court. I don't see a history of failing to appear in here. And so your court date will be September 3rd at 9 a.m. And if you were to fail to appear for that court date, a warrant could also issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. That's all for today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just let me know if I need to change anything. No. Thank you. Morning. Please state your name.
Jeremy Willingham.
Mr. Willingham, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of disorderly conduct. These are misdemeanor charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today. And if I were to order that you are released on your promise to appear for future court dates, would you appear for your future court dates?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will order that you are released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are no alcohol or illegal drugs and no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date will be August 7th at 10:30 a.m.
7:30.
And that will be for an arraignment with Judge Miller at Pima County Justice Court. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's all for today. Good morning. Please state your name. And this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of assault and disorderly conduct, which are both domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to discuss your conditions of release this morning. If I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for your future court date, would you appear for your future court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so I will order that you're released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and commit no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date will be on September 2nd at 1:30 before Judge Millian at Tucson City Court. If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward without you, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, and then you are presumed innocent. I will enter pleas of not guilty for you today.
Thank you.
That's all for today. Thanks. Good morning. Please state your name.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Schwartz.
Ms. Shores, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of assault and disorderly conduct. Those are both domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today. If I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear, would you appear for your future court date?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if I were to further order that you could not have any contact with Ronald Schwartz until further order of the court, would you abide by that condition?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I will order that you're released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with Mr. Schwartz, and
Okay.
do not go to his residence or workplace, although you may return to the residence one time with a law enforcement escort to obtain your necessary belongings. Your next court date will be on September 2nd at 1:30 with Judge Millian at Tucson City Court. If you were to fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. The hearings could go forward without you, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will enter pleas of not guilty for you today. You are presumed innocent. And that's all for now.
Thank you.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Good morning, Alex White.
Mr. White, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of assault, disorderly conduct, and criminal damage, which are all domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and under certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. Did we just lose the jail?
Still see you.
Judge, we can still see you and hear you.
Great. I can't see you anymore, but that's fine. All right. We are going to discuss your conditions of release this morning.
Okay.
And
Yep.
if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear, would you appear for your future court dates?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And if I were to order that you could not have any contact with Selena Robles until further order of the court, would you abide by that condition?
Yes, ma'am.
So I will order that you're released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with Selena Robles, do not go to her residence or workplace. If you were living together, you may return one time with a law enforcement escort to pick up your belongings. And your next court date will be September 2nd at 1:30 for a domestic violence arraignment with Judge Millian. If you were to fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant could issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward without you, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are presumed innocent, and I will enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time. And that's all for today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Samson. No.
Please state your name.
Stephanie Ford.
Ms. Ford, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of assault and disorderly conduct. Those are both domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today. I do know that there is a Title 36 hold. But ma'am, if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for future court dates, would you appear for your future court dates?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I will order, let me just double check. Okay, I will order that you're released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are no alcohol or illegal drugs and no acts of domestic violence. And your next court date will be scheduled for August 7th at 10:30 in the morning. If you fail to appear for that court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward without you, including trial. And if you are convicted and then fail to appear for sentencing for 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Um,
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
that's all for today.
Okay, thank you. What does that mean? I'm sorry. Can I ask about the Title 36? I didn't know what that meant.
Yes. So I'm ordering that you be released from the jail, but I believe that a petition has been filed that may require you to go somewhere else for treatment for a little while. And I don't know if Ms. Otto can tell you a little bit more, perhaps on mute.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Otto. Good morning. Please state your name.
Andres Jesus Martinez.
Thank you. Hey, good morning, Mr. Martinez. This is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of disorderly conduct. There's 3 counts, and those are domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today, and I have reviewed the probable cause statement as well as information provided by pretrial services. If I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for future court dates, would you appear for your future court dates?
Yes, ma'am.
So I will order that you are released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and to avoid, not to commit any acts of domestic violence. Your next court date will be August 7th at 10:30 in the morning for a domestic violence arraignment with Judge Miller at Pima County Justice Court. If you failed to appear for that hearing, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Thank you. That's all for today.
Thank you.
Oh, he's in 40.
Please state your name.
Hi, Adrian Sabarzo.
Morning, Mr. Sabarzo. This is the time for your initial appearance. You are here on charges of assault and disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire an attorney of your choice, and in certain circumstances, an attorney may be appointed on your behalf. We are going to discuss your conditions of release, and I have reviewed the officer's narrative as well as information provided by pretrial services. If I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for future court dates, would you appear for your future court date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. So I will order that you are released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal substances and commit no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date will be September 2nd at 1:30 with Judge Millian at Tucson City Court. That'll be for a domestic violence arraignment. If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. The hearings can go forward without you. That includes trial. And if you are convicted, then fail to appear for sentencing for 90 days, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand?
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You are presumed to be innocent, and I will enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. And that's all for today.
Awesome. I get some process.
You'll have to ask COs.
All right.
You might be able to release it to your property.
Please state your name.
Brandon Felix.
Mr. Felix, this is the time for your initial appearance on separate felony charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. And it is ordered appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today. And I have reviewed information provided about you by pretrial services. That lets me know whether you have any criminal history. It lets me know what your ties to the community are and if you were able to provide any references. And it also contains their assessments and their recommendations. I've also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $75,000. Would the state like to be heard further?
Your Honor, without going into detail, these are absolutely abhorrent charges, and the state believes this person has shown me that they are a risk to the community, and therefore the state asks for, as well as a flight risk, because of mandatory incarceration if convicted on all charges, $75,000.
Thank you, and defense.
Judge, I ask that you impose a bond of no more than $7,500. Charges are exactly that. They are allegations, accusations. They are not convictions. And Mr. Felix has absolutely no criminal history. There is no allegation that this event, if it occurred, involved violence or physical force. There's no indication that he poses a risk to anyone else. I'd ask that you impose a lower bond and just order that he not have contact with the victim.
Thank you. I'm going to order a bond of $25,000, cash or secured. If you're released, you'll be released to pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No acts of domestic violence, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. You may not possess firearms or weapons during the pendency of this case. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not go to their residence or workplace. And your next court date will be for a preliminary hearing. That's on August 7th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And if you were to be here for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's all for today.
Bro.
Please state your name.
Jason Brown.
Morning, Mr. Brown. This is the time for your initial appearance on charges of possession of narcotic drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a dangerous drug. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and it is ordered appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And it looks like the state is moving to dismiss these charges. So I will order that the charges are dismissed without prejudice. And you will be released.
Thank you.
That's all for today.
What was? I'm sorry.
Dismissed.
Dismissed.
Dismissed, so he's released.
Please state your name.
Adrian Burr.
Good morning, Mr. Bird Atkins. This is the time for your initial appearance. You're here on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and it is ordered appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today, and I have reviewed the interim complaint describing the circumstances surrounding your arrest. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services. That lets me know whether you have any criminal history, and if so, what that looks like, as well as whether you were able to provide information or references about your ties to the community and their assessments and recommendations. The state is recommending that you be held on a bond of $20,000. Would the state like to be heard further?
Your Honor, the person attempted to stab somebody with a knife, allegedly putting them in fear of their safety. And the individual post Miranda admitted that he wanted to kill the victim. State believes this person is a risk to the community as well as a flight risk.
Thank you, and defense.
Judge, I'd ask that you impose a minimal bond. Mr. Bert Atkins does not appear, given his unemployment and his inability to provide an address. We have minimal financial resources, and so I'd ask that you impose a reasonable bond under the circumstances.
Thank you. I am going to order a bond of $5,000, cash or secured. If you are released, you'll be released to pretrial services. You may not possess or consume alcohol or illegal substances. You must submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. No firearms or weapons. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not return to the incident location. If you did happen to possess any firearms, you must surrender those to local law enforcement. And I will set your case for a preliminary hearing. That will be on August 7th at 1:30. If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's all for today.
So, moment, Giuseppe Chapman.
Please state your name.
Nicholas Norman, Giuseppe Chapman.
Thank you. There we are. And Mr. Chapman, you are here this morning on a couple of different matters. You have charges from April of 2025 of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. And then you also have charges of aggravated assault on a peace officer from July 28th of 2025. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and it is ordered appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. We are going to discuss your conditions of release this morning, and I have reviewed the interim complaint, which describes the circumstances surrounding the charges. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services, which lets me know whether you have any previous felony convictions, and if so, what those look like, as well as any information you were able to provide regarding your ties to the community or any references. And it also contains their assessments and recommendations. It looks like you were also being held without bond on another matter that is not before me this morning. So regardless of what I ordered today, you would not be released until that was resolved. Finally, I have reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $25,000 in the new charge and $500 on the older charges from April, which was the amount issued in the warrant. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
And defense?
Judge, I'd ask that you impose $1,000 bond in the new case and affirm the $500 bond in the failure to appear case. Given that Mr. Chapman has a probation hold and he's not going to be going anywhere anyway, and so a minimal bond is appropriate given these charges.
Right. I'm going to order setting a $7,500 cash or secured bond on the new matter. If you are released, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be required to submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, and no contact with the alleged victim. Your next court date on, oops, it's the wrong one. Your next court date on the new charges will be on August 7th.
Yeah.
For a preliminary hearing. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you fail to appear after being released, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then on the older drug possession charges, I will order the bond of $500, cash or secured, pretrial services if released, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. On that case, your next court date will be August 4th at 1:30 for an arraignment. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. That's all for today. Good morning. Please state your name.
Maria Links Cruz.
Ms. Cruz, this is the time for your initial appearance on a couple of different matters. You have new felony drug charges of possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia out of currently out of Pima County Justice Court. And then you also have Tucson City Court misdemeanor matter of possession of drug paraphernalia from last year. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in the new felony charges, and you always have the right to hire an attorney of your choice in the misdemeanor matters. We are going to discuss your conditions of release, starting with the felony charges. And I have reviewed the interim complaint. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services about you, which would let me know whether you have any felony criminal history. It would also let me know about your ties to the community and their assessments and recommendations. I do see that you may be eligible for a pre-indictment diversion program called STEPS. That's a program that connects you with a substance abuse treatment provider. If you complete the requirements of the diversion program, it is possible the state would not go forward with the felony drug charges. Are you interested in that program?
Yes.
Right, so I will set a hearing on August 4th at 9 a.m. To determine if you are eligible for that program and if you would like to join. And then it looks like you also have a probation hold for which you are detained without bond. So regardless of what I ordered in this case, you would not be released unless that was cleared up. Finally, I have reviewed the $1,500 or the recommendation from the state that you be held on a bond of $1,500. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. And defense.
I have no objection to the state's recommendation, Judge.
Okay. So I will order that a bond of $1,500 is entered on the felony matter. If you are released, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be ordered to submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. I also need to set a preliminary hearing for you. That will be scheduled for August 7th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And if you fail to appear for court after being released, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
All right. And then we'll turn to the city court matter. And is there any expectation that she might be released before August 5th on her probation violation?
No, ma'am.
And I will order that you are held on a bond of $50, cash or secured, in the Tucson City Court case. I will appoint the City of Tucson Public Defender to represent you, and you will have a video review on August 5th at 1:45. If something were to change and you were released before then, they would vacate that court date, and instead your court date would be August 26th. And then the condition of release is just no alcohol or illegal drugs.
Judge, what would the time be for the August 26th hearing if that were to occur?
Thank you. 9:30.
Thank you.
All right. Do you understand everything, ma'am?
So I'll be staying?
Yes.
No. Oh,
Probation with the probation until probation releases that whole year in.
Good morning. Please state your name.
Phil Feeler.
Miss Ewart, this is the time for your initial appearance on charges of possession of dangerous drugs, unlawful flight from law enforcement, possession of drug paraphernalia. Those are all felonies. And then there's a misdemeanor charge of driving under the influence. And then you also had a warrant in an older misdemeanor case for shoplifting. That warrant had been issued in June. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in the felony matter, and I am appointing the legal defender's office to represent you. We are going to discuss your conditions of, all right. The state is moving to dismiss, so I will order that the felony charges of and Mr. Poston, just to confirm, that would be the entire interim complaint that's being dismissed at this time?
The felony charges are being dismissed, Your Honor.
Okay.
The DUI is up, is in justice court.
Okay, so they're all on the same thing for me this morning. I don't know if the driving under the influence charge will be separated somehow, but they're all showing up on the same interim complaint for me, and they have the same conditions of release form. So I think if I put in dismissed, it's going to dismiss everything.
Yeah, Your Honor, we're not looking to dismiss the DUI. I would release a free trial on the DUI, and the rest would be dismissed.
Okay, I will put that in here. All right, So I will be dismissing the felony charges, and then, ma'am, if I were to order that you were released on your promise to appear for your driving under the influence charge, would you appear for your court date?
Yes.
So I will order that you are released on your promise to appear for that matter, and
Nope, it's not. He recommended it. It's just released.
I can't do pretrial services on a misdemeanor, since there seemed to be a question about that. All right, and then and then, oh, you're gonna say something else? Okay, so then since it's just the misdemeanor, instead of setting a preliminary hearing, I'm going to set it for an arraignment on August 7th at 1:30. And the additional conditions of your release are no alcohol or illegal drugs and do not drive without a valid driver's license. If you were to fail to appear for your court date on August 7th, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And then we'll turn to the older shoplifting matter. That is from October of 2024. And the court did issue a warrant based on your failure to appear for court.
I didn't know I had court. I was never arrested. No.
All right. Was that supposed to be 10:30? Did I put it in as 1:30? Thank you. On the other one, I think I told you the wrong time for your court dates. So that's August 7th at 10:30 morning. And then for this one, can I make this one the same even though it's supposed to be 8:30? You can. Okay, I'm going to set this one for the same time. That will be August 7th at 10:30 in the morning. And I am going to order that you're released on your promise to appear. The additional conditions of your release here are no contact with the alleged victim, do not return to the incident location, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. If you fail to appear for that court date, it is very likely that a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. That's
Judge,
oh, yes.
is that court date in Sarita or in Justice Court?
They're both showing for me as Pima County Justice Court.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Please state your name.
Amber Marie Kane.
Good morning, Ms. Kane. This is the time for your initial appearance. You're here this morning on charges of possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Those are felony offenses, and then you also have misdemeanor charges of shoplifting. You have the right to remain silent on all of these matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney in the felony matter, and I am appointing the legal defender's office to represent you. And we are going to discuss your conditions of release. I have reviewed the interim complaint, which describes the circumstances surrounding your arrest. I have also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be released to pretrial services. And then I've also been provided with some pretrial services information about you, including that you may be eligible for a pre-indictment diversion program. That program connects you with a substance abuse treatment provider, and if you complete the requirements of the diversion program, it is possible that the state will not go forward with the felony drug charges. Are you interested in checking out that program?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to set your hearing to determine your eligibility for that program for August 4th at 9 a.m. It's very important to appear for that hearing because I believe you only get one chance to be screened and potentially join that program. You'll have the opportunity to speak with an attorney, service providers, and pretrial services and decide whether you want to enter the program if eligible. And then I also need to, let me go ahead and set conditions of release. I am going to order that you're released to pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Monitoring or treatment is directed by pretrial services. No firearms or weapons. And then I need to set a preliminary hearing date for you. Usually that has to occur within 20 days. However, to give time for the pre-indictment diversion program to play out, would you waive that to 45 days?
She did say okay, Judge.
I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't looking up, so I missed it. All right, so I will set your preliminary hearing date for September 11th at 1:30. It's possible that hearing will be vacated if you are accepted into the diversion program. It's important to be sure about that because if you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And then turning to the misdemeanor, I will order that you're released on your promise to appear, and that will be you'll have your court date for that on August 7th at 8:30 in the morning for an arraignment with Judge Miller at Pima County Justice Court. The conditions of your release are no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the incident location. And if you fail to appear for that hearing, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
I do. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's all for today.
Thank you.
Please state your name.
Grady Lungu.
Mr. Lungu, this is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on charges of disorderly conduct with a weapon and burglary. The disorderly conduct is a domestic violence charge. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and it is ordered appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. I have reviewed the interim complaint. I have also reviewed information provided by pretrial services that lets me know whether you have any relevant criminal history. It also lets me know whether you were able to provide information about your ties to the community and any references, as well as their assessments and recommendations. We are going to discuss your conditions of release today, as I said, and the final thing I've reviewed is the state's recommendation, which is that you be held on a bond of $25,000. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. And defense.
Judge, Mr. Longo indicates that he can stay at his job, so that would be housing separate from the alleged victim. He does not have any felony criminal history documented, so I'd ask that you impose no more than a $5,000 bond to this man.
Thank you. All right, so I am going to order setting a bond of $5,000, cash or secured. If you are released, you'll be released to pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. No contact of any kind with the alleged victim that begins today, and do not return to the incident location. Your next court date will be August 7th. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon for a preliminary hearing. If you fail to appear for any future court dates, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all for today. Great. Good morning. Please state your name.
Carlos Rodriguez?
Carlos Rodriguez.
Yes.
Great. And you were booked in as Jesus Rodriguez.
Yes.
So, all right. So you are here this morning on felony charges of possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. And it looks like the state is moving to dismiss those charges. So I will order that those charges are dismissed without prejudice.
Thank you.
And we will update your information in the system. I have also been informed that there's a probation hold. So I don't think you will be released since you have that to deal with, but you're not being held on this matter. Any questions?
No.
All right. Thank you. That's all for today.
Yep. Well, no, he's being held, he's got a detainer, but he's dismissed and released on his charges.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, there's a typo on this one. It should read bond and 5,000.
Okay. For Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Please state your name.
Good morning. Senior Valencia.
Thank you, Mr. Valencia. This is the time for your initial appearance. You are here this morning on felony charges of unlawful flight from law enforcement, as well as misdemeanor charges out of Tucson City Court. Well, it's actually a post-adjudication probation revocation out of Tucson City Court. It is alleged that you violated your probation by failing to enroll in domestic violence treatment, failing to attend your review hearing. You have the right
Yes, Your Honor.
to remain silent on both matters. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
I've done that.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney, and it is ordered appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And we are going to discuss your conditions of release. I have reviewed the information provided by the interim complaint as well as by pretrial services, which lets me know whether you have any criminal history or felony convictions, as well as what information you were able to provide regarding your ties to the community and their assessments and recommendations. I have also reviewed the state's recommendation that you be held on a bond of $5,000. Would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
You and defense.
Mr. Valencia's history based on the pretrial services report is fairly old. His last conviction occurring in 2017. So he has available housing and support from his mother on Simmons Road. He is working and has family responsibilities, and so I'd ask that you release him to pretrial services. Mr. Valencia also indicates that he's got an adult son who's going through some significant personal and medical problems, and relies on Mr. Valencia for his support and care. And so I'd ask you also consider that in favor of releasing him to free trial.
Thank you. Great, so I do see some failure to appears. I am going to order a bond of $500 cash or secured. If you're released, you'll be released to pretrial services. You'll be required to submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, no firearms or weapons. And your next court date for the felony charge will be on August 7th at 1:30 for a preliminary hearing. And then on the misdemeanor charge, or the misdemeanor probation revocation, I will enter a denial on your behalf today, and I am going to order that you are held on a bond of $150 cash or secured. The additional conditions are to possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and commit no acts of domestic violence, abide by your probation conditions. And your court date for Tucson City Court will be August 13th at 1:30. If you remain in custody, the jail will make you available, and if you are released, it'll be your responsibility to appear on that date before Judge Millian. Failure to appear can result in a warrant issuing for your arrest, the hearings going forward in your absence, including the evidentiary hearing on the probation violation. Do you understand, sir? I think you're still muted.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
I believe that's everything. Does anyone have anything else? All right.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Correct, yeah. She's on her way. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. You can be seated. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Commissioner Hughes. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for Monday, July 28th. The court's orders for the taking of DNA samples and fingerprints issued on the first calendar of July will apply to the hearings on this calendar. Before we get started in here this morning, I want to let you all know that you have two important rights. The first one is the right to the assistance of counsel. The second is the right to remain silent. There will not be a lawyer in the courtroom this morning for purposes of your defense, but anything that you choose to say in here could be used against you. Because of those two things, I will caution you very strongly before making any statements regarding the facts about why you're here while you're in the courtroom. I also want to let you know that all of the information that you get while you are in the courtroom will be given to you in a written document when you're done in here and you step back into the room you're in right now. So please don't feel like you need to memorize the information we go through while you're in here, but keep that paperwork you get wherever you go from here, because in that paperwork will be all the information you got in the courtroom. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Can I please have Lorenzo Chavez into the courtroom behind this gray podium? Austin Rowe Gladden, if you would work your way to one of the blue chairs right inside this door, please. Come on in, right behind this podium if you would, please. Can I have your name and date of birth?
Lorenzo Chavez, 6/15/84.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chavez. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of dangerous drug possession for sale, 1 count of narcotic drug possession for sale. Those two are class 2 felonies. Also 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, 1 count of use of an electronic communication device in a drug transaction, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, 1 count of dangerous drug possession. Those are all class 4 felonies. And then finally, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, which is a class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support those allegations based on the information provided to me by law enforcement, with 2 exceptions. I did not find probable cause to support either of the narcotic drug allegations. So the class 2 felony, narcotic drug possession for sale, the class 4 felony, narcotic drug possession, I did not find probable cause for those 2. My finding of no probable cause does not mean those are legally dismissed. It is possible that the county attorney's office will file formal charges on those, but for purposes of this hearing today, I'm not considering those 2 narcotic drug allegations to determine your release conditions. I did determine that you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer, so I've appointed a public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference August 4th and then a preliminary hearing August 6th. They will both be at 8:30. They'll both be in the Superior Court downtown.
Okay, so I would have to drive over there, right?
Yeah, so here's the deal. So you have a $25,000 secured appearance bond on these charges. So if you post that, you will be released from custody, and then you'll have to drive or take the bus or walk to your hearings downtown. If you do not post that, you will stay in custody at least until your first hearing on the 4th, but MCSO would then transport you. If you do post that bond, though, and you're released from custody, in addition to getting to those hearings, once you're out, you also cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Okay, Mr. Chavez, any other questions regarding your release conditions?
Yes. So as of, in your eyes right now, I'm not going home.
Well, in my eyes, you are free to go home if you post that bond.
Oh, okay, yeah. But another question, like the weapon they're talking about, like, It was just a little knife that
So talk to your lawyer about that.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want you to say anything
Yes,
that could be
that's
used
fine.
against you.
Okay.
So yes, the allegation in the Form 4, the allegation provided to me by law enforcement was that you were in possession of a fixed blade knife. If you disagree with that or you disagree that it's a prohibited weapon, talk to your lawyer about that. You and your lawyer can contradict this
Yes.
evidence or present evidence in your defense at your next hearing.
Yes, okay. Also, the reason they pulled me over, stopped me was,
A flashlight.
yes,
Yeah, so it looks like the allegation is that you were originally stopped because there was a light, forward-facing light on your bike, but it was not on, which would have been a violation of traffic laws. So that was the basis of the original stop. Don't tell me anything about whether or not that's true, because again, I don't want you to say something
Yes.
that if you had a lawyer, your lawyer would say, don't say that, don't say that.
yes. No, because they said they got me because it wasn't mounted onto a bike.
So the information that I have for purposes of this hearing was that there was a light on the front of the bike, but it was not working or operable, so there was no light projecting out towards the front.
No, there
So
was.
again, if you
Okay.
think that that's wrong, talk to your lawyer.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chavez. Austin Rowe Gladden, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Kaylee or Callie Donalds, if you would please work your way to one of these chairs inside the door. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Austin Rogard, 72289.
Thank you, Mr. Rowe Gladden. You are here on two different matters this morning. The first one is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are one count of drug paraphernalia possession, one count of tampering with physical evidence, those are both Class 6 felonies, and one count of resisting arrest, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support those allegations, and I appointed a lawyer to defend you against them. Your next court hearings on those three allegations will be a status conference August 4th, and then a preliminary hearing August 6th. They'll both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On those three allegations, you have a $1,000 secured appearance bond. You're also here on a failure to appear warrant issued by the Wickenburg Municipal Court. The allegations pending in that Wickenburg case look like they are a false reporting allegation. It's a misdemeanor allegation. You are entitled to a lawyer on that misdemeanor warrant for purposes of release conditions. That lawyer is going to be appointed for you by the Wickenburg judge at your next hearing. Your next hearing on that warrant will be an arraignment hearing August 6th. That one will be at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Wickenburg Municipal Court. On that warrant, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond will be $1,500, all secured appearance. If you post that and you are released, you cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription once you're out. Do you understand those conditions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Rogladden. You can step back to your left. Kaylee or Callie Donalds, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. David Velarde, if you would please work your way to one of those blue chairs. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
My name is Kaylee Erin Donalds.
And what's your date of birth, Ms. Donalds?
7/13/83.
Thank you very much. You are here on two different matters. The first matter that you're here on is a bench warrant issued by the probation court when you failed to appear at a revocation arraignment hearing. You have a lawyer already assigned to you in that probation case. That lawyer will continue to represent you. Your next hearing in that case will be a new revocation arraignment hearing. It will be August 4th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On that warrant, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. You're also here on a failure to comply with court terms warrant issued by the Pioneer Justice Court. That one, the underlying allegation is a misdemeanor interference with judicial proceedings allegation. You are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of release conditions on that misdemeanor warrant. That lawyer is going to be appointed for you by the next judge you see in the Pioneer Justice Court at your next hearing. That hearing will be an arraignment hearing July 31st. It'll also be at 8:30, but that one will be in the Pioneer Justice Court. On that warrant, you have a $250 secured appearance bond. So your total bond is $750. If you post that, you will be released from custody and then responsible for getting yourself to all of your court hearings. If you post that and released, you are also prohibited from possessing any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription upon release. Do you understand those conditions?
I do.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have some questions.
Okay.
Because I'm not very good at this court stuff, but I'm kind of confused on the $250 one and I'm just confused about all of it at this point. I've been having a really hard time, with the court system. I need to be able to talk to somebody. I was going to get into a halfway house rehab, situation this afternoon that was going to help me sort, through all this. And, it seems as though I have somebody that's really been giving me a hard time about certain things, and it's hard for me to explain. They said that there would be a community, somebody to be able to help me at this court date today, and I'm not sure who you were talking to get that information, but we don't offer resources here. This is just a very brief hearing to explain to you why you were arrested and to get you to where you need to go. So at this point, what I can tell you about the two cases is one of them is a case that you're already on probation for, and there was a hearing in that probation case set, and you were not at that hearing. So the probation court here in Maricopa County issued a warrant for your arrest when you weren't present in court. Okay.
The second one, the Pioneer Justice Court one, I don't have very much information on that. I don't know exactly why that warrant was issued. The only thing the warrant tells me is that it's a failure to comply with court terms warrant. So it could be that you missed a court hearing. It could be that you didn't pay a fine. It could be that you were supposed to take a class and you didn't submit proof of that class to the court. I don't know what the underlying obligation is in that Pioneer warrant that the court thinks wasn't complied with, but when you get to that court on the 31st, that judge can tell you exactly what the court thinks needed to have happened that didn't happen. In terms of resources, in getting to your court hearings and helping explain things, there are no community people here in this facility that can assist you with that, but that is one of the responsibilities of your probation officer. So as long as you're in contact with your probation officer, you can tell your probation officer, I need additional help getting to court, I need additional explanation, and your probation officer can either sit with you and help explain it to you or point you in the direction of somebody that can give you that assistance.
Because I've been in contact with these guys about, I want to say, close to 10 times and gotten 0 results from them.
Who's these guys?
The probation department.
Are you talking to your assigned probation officer?
I believed I was. Not every day though, because I can't get in contact with anybody.
So what I would say is when you get in contact with your probation officer, try to set a schedule with him or her. So those probation officers aren't just working on one person's case, so they have a whole slew of people to deal with. So I understand they can sometimes be hard to get a hold of, but once you get a hold of your probation officer, say, hey, can we set a weekly meeting? Can we set a monthly meeting? However often you think is useful. See if your probation officer will get you on his or her calendar on a set schedule so that he or she is setting aside time for you.
Okay, this all stems back to, for whatever reason, I was being harassed by these kids. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this today, but I was wondering if the only person that I have contact is my mom in New York, and she's the only person that would be able to do a bail, but she works paycheck to paycheck. I was wondering if there's any way that you would be willing to reduce this so I could get to the halfway or to the.
I can't because I'm not the judge that issued those warrants. I'm not the judge that set those bonds. So the probation one was set by the probation court when you weren't in that hearing. The Pioneer one was set by that Pioneer judge. So you will have to post those bonds in order to be released today. They are secured appearance, which means you could use a bonding company. So I don't know if you could get a hold of your mom and have your mom work through a bonding company, or back in the jail facility, there's a list of bonding companies and their phone numbers. You could call them and see what their requirements might be and then try to communicate that information to your mom to see if there's something that could be done. Any other questions, Ms. Donald?
No, but I think that now I have to wait till this court date. If there's a mistake in something going on, I have to wait till.
In the underlying case?
Yes.
Yes, and you would have to anyway, because even if there was a mistake, I can't fix it. The court, the judge that's assigned to the underlying case is the only judge that could fix any sort of mistake.
I just feel like I'm being passed. It's going to be a long time, and I'm going to be passed around quite a bit if there was a mistake in it.
Well, you're here on two different matters, so.
I understand.
And the Maricopa County one, which I don't think there is a mistake on, is the later hearing. So you would be in custody if you don't post that bond at least until August 4th on that one, and your Pinal County one is gonna come first. So if there's a mistake in Pinal County, that can get corrected, and you would still have been in custody anyway on the Maricopa County case if you don't get that bond posted. Okay, thanks, Ms. Donalds. If you'll step back to your left, all that information will be in your paperwork.
What's today?
Today is the 28th. So your hearing in Pioneer is the 31st. Your Maricopa probation hearing is August 4th.
Okay, so I have to go to a court, and then it'll be another several days, and I stay here?
You won't stay here in this facility if you don't post a bond, but you'll stay in Maricopa County custody.
Okay, until the 4th at least?
At least until the 4th, right. Unless you post that bond.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Donald.
Thank you.
David Vellaverdi, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Goy Roush, if you would please work your way to one of those chairs. Good morning, sir. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
David Michael Velarde, 2/18/67.
Thank you, Mr. Velarde. I appear to have added extra letters and syllables to your last name. I apologize. Velarde.
Okay.
Okay, you're here on a failure to comply with court terms warrant issued by the Peoria Municipal Court. It looks like the underlying allegation in that case is a misdemeanor DUI allegation. I am not making any orders regarding your entitlement to counsel in that case. If you have a lawyer that's working with you, you don't. Okay. If you think that you're entitled to a court-appointed lawyer in this matter going forward, that order has to be made by the Peoria judge.
Okay.
So if you want one and you think you're entitled to one, bring that up with the Peoria judge at your next hearing.
Okay.
That hearing is going to be an arraignment hearing July 31st. It'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning. It will be in the Peoria Municipal Court. Okay, I have this set up with a $50 secured appearance bond on it. The reason that I put that on there is because it appears that you are in custody on something else. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, and do you think that you will still be in custody on that other thing on the 31st?
I hope not to be.
Do you have a release date?
I do not yet.
Do you have a court date before that? What would cause you to be released before the 31st?
With a secured bond.
Oh, you have a bond that you think you might be able to post?
Yes.
So here's the deal. If I'm willing to release you on this, but that would mean that you would be responsible for getting yourself to that court date. So my slight hesitation here is that if you don't get the bond posted in the other matters that you're here on, this court date without a bond on it is not going to go into MCSO's system, and nobody's going to transport you to this court hearing. So if you are still in custody on the 31st and I don't put a bond on this, you'll sit in your cell, your court hearing will go on, you won't be there, and they'll issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
So the only way to ensure that MCSO transports you to court if you are in custody on the 31st is to have a bond on this.
Okay.
So, like I said, I am willing to release you on it, but I don't want to set you up to fail, and I don't want to not put a bond on this, and then all of a sudden you don't make your bond on your other cases and you don't get transported to court. So I'm inclined to leave it as a $50 bond.
Okay.
And then that way, at least, you would have to post that to be eligible for release on this warrant. So it would add $50 to what you otherwise have to post. But if you don't post that, you would at least get transported to your hearing.
Yeah, it covers me on both.
Covers you both ways.
Perfect.
Okay. Very good then. Do you understand why I've left the $50 bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Velarde. You can step back to your left and get your paperwork. Boy Roush, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Goy Rutch, June 17, 2006.
Thank you. Your last name is pronounced Rutch?
Rutch, yeah.
Rutch. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rutch. You are here on a warrant issued by the Goodyear Municipal Court. The underlying allegations in the Goodyear case are a criminal littering misdemeanor and a consuming liquor in public while being under 21 misdemeanor also. On those two allegations, because they're both misdemeanors, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. What that means is if you don't already have a lawyer working with you in that misdemeanor case, but you want a lawyer, you'll have to hire a lawyer at your own expense to represent you. Your next court hearing on this warrant is going to be an arraignment hearing. It will be August 13th. It will be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the Goodyear Municipal Court. I am intending to release you on your own recognizance on this warrant, so you would get out of custody without having to post a bond, but you would be required then to get yourself to that hearing on August 13th. Upon release, you would also be ordered not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. Roch, and do you agree that you'll abide by them if you're released?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Then you can step back and get your paperwork. Number 7 on the calendar, Michael Angel Ochoa, date of birth 12/30/94, is not in the courtroom because he poses a danger to himself. He is here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of discharging a firearm in the city limits, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation and appointed a public defender to represent him. His next court hearings will be a status conference August 4th and a preliminary hearing August 6th, both at 8:30 downtown. He has a $15,000 secured appearance bond on that case. Last on the calendar, number 8, Lucas Isaac Monks, date of birth 11/11/2005, is not in the courtroom because he was unable to function in general population due to unsafe behavior. He is here on an arrest warrant issued after a direct complaint was issued. The allegation in that direct complaint is 1 count of aggravated assault causing temporary disfigurement, a Class 4 felony. I did appoint a lawyer to defend him against that allegation. His next court hearings will be a status conference August 4th and a preliminary hearing August 6th, both at 8:30 downtown. He has a $50 cash-only bond on that warrant. If anything changes after I visit either of these gentlemen's cell side, I will update their written release orders, and anybody that's interested can find their final release conditions in their written release order. That concludes the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar. This court will stand in recess until 2 p.m.